Hello again, and welcome back to another episode of Father and Son Days, the unexplainable guide to absolutely nothing. Can you ever guess what week we're on?
45?
46, 45
I'll
was
get
last
it
week.
right.
And
Every
we are
time.
talking about the decade of the 2010s, or the 10s, or whatever that's called.
Yes, we certainly are.
So stick around if you want to hear more. Right, hello once again, whoever you are. What's your name?
Hi, my name's David. Once, and bear with me with this story, I was driving my car and it smashed into a lamppost. And as I sat there, shocked but uninjured with the airbag deployed, because of the shock, the tape player or CD player in the car activated, playing the Teletubbies theme tune. So that when someone eventually stopped to see if I was all right, all they could hear was Teletubbies, Teletubbies. See? Uh-oh.
That's a good story.
Yeah.
Hello, my name's Connor.
Hello, Connor.
I'm 23 years old still.
You really?
Yes, yeah, still. My favourite way of cooking cheese on toast is when you get the bread and you toast it on both sides in the grill, and then you also get some Bossan or other garlic roulade type cheese, soft cheese, put that on the bread, and then also put cheddar cheese over the top, and then put it back under the grill and let that all melt down.
Sounds lovely. I'm hungry.
Yeah. Anyway, another quick thing.
Yeah.
We were meant to have a guest on this week, but he came into the room and we went, you can stay in here if you're not going to be an idiot.
Yeah.
And within about 5-10 minutes of him being in the room with us, he decided to tear down the decorations, and that's why we kicked out Maui the cat.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Sam.
No.
I thought I didn't actually notice he'd come in.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. Yes, no, he's been sort of thrown out onto the landing, so he's going to annoy someone else at the moment.
Yeah.
That's the cat again, not Sam.
And another thing
Yeah.
is, I said week rather than episode at the beginning. This is episode 46. It's worth mentioning that actually, in reality, it's probably week 45 because we released 2 episodes on the first week.
And I said, I always get that right, when I meant to say I always get that wrong.
Yeah.
Rather ironically. So there you
See,
go. So
wrong.
great start, yeah. So 2010s. But are we finished with the preamble?
I'm just giving a little bit of thought.
Oh, there was something I noticed. Poor old Fromage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, looks like
Nicolas
he's going to
Fromage.
be Nicolas Fromage is going to be extradited to the US by the look of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, bet you were absolutely crestfallen, weren't you?
Is that a cheese joke?
No, I do had nothing to do with it. But yeah, so obviously, not Nicolas Fromage, but
Julian Sarge.
Sorry, oh God, still don't know. Right, anyway, let's move on then.
He'll always be known as Nicolas Fromage now.
He will do. It certainly will do. So
Did you know he slept with...
Yes, I did know that because you told me. So it's the 2010s, right? Now, I had a look at the 2010s.
Were you there?
Oh, yes, and so was you.
I was there too.
And a lot of really quite depressing stuff happened during that decade. And
Also
when I
good
was,
stuff.
Yeah, there was, but
Yeah.
I was scrolling through and there was like uprisings and volcanoes erupting and tsunamis.
And we went to Florida twice.
We did go. I mean, they were good, yeah. But there was all sorts of terrible things happening. Trump. And so, I thought, well, we don't really go down that route, do we, normally? We normally go and talk about, obviously, very important
Do you remember
things.
2016?
No, what happened in 2016?
About 90% of the world's celebrities died. Do you remember that?
90% of
I
it.
don't know if that's a rough estimate.
Right,
But
I
do you
might
remember...
have to fact check that.
Well, I know it's not 90%. But do you remember that was the year that just like everyone died?
Well,
Was
there
it, like,
always
the year
seemed
that
to
Bowie
be.
died,
Yeah.
and all the other celebrities that I can't remember right now.
I know for a fact that for quite some years, it always seemed to be that they came in threes, or went in threes, I should say, rather than came in threes. And I remember, so you'd say, I don't know, I'm not saying this particular one, but David Bowie died.
Oh yeah, I just mentioned that.
Yeah, I know. That's why I mentioned it again.
You can't think of anyone else.
I can't think
can
of
you?
any. Sid Little. Is Sid Little still alive?
I don't know who that is.
Okay. Well, say I'm sorry if Sid Little is still alive and Sid Little died, and then you think, And you think, what?
Why are you pausing?
What, you're doing some sort of
because
signal.
you're not talking into the mic.
It's because I'm looking at you. I'll move over a little bit like that, and hopefully that'll work. Yeah, and so you'd think, there's all these celebrities out there thinking, it could be me next.
People have a go at me for pointing out that you're not talking to a mic, but the big thing with a podcast is being recorded.
So yes, I think you were saying there was quite a lot of significant, here's that word back again, probably people that in the public eye that died within that particular year as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's generally what celebrity means as well.
Yeah, so that's really. I was trying to steer away from anything depressing, but obviously you've sort of driven us down that sorrow street again, haven't you?
Yeah.
Anyway. So to just turn that around, what I think we'll talk about
turn
first,
yourself around,
right, is some of the phenomenons that were. Yeah, it's all
Didn't
right.
the Muppet movie come out in the 2010s?
What?
The Muppet movie, the newer one.
I don't know.
When they all came back and they drove the car under the water and stuff for a map, with the guy from How I Met Your Mother, and it was the song that had. Am I a man or am I a very manly Muppet?
No,
that one.
No, I don't know, Connor. You should have done your own research on that one anyway. One of the things that was particularly, I think, that was a bit of a thing, and you got involved in this as well, was this Pokemon Go malarkey.
I played it briefly, yeah.
When you say played it briefly, you and your mother were quite obsessed with it. Did you not?
That could handle it. I had a phone, but at the time I had a Windows phone, if anyone remembers those. Yeah. And you couldn't really get apps on those. They were good phones, it's just the people creating the apps just didn't see it as a great market, and it wasn't a great market, so people didn't add apps to it, which then made the phone suffer. But anyway, you could only really get it on Apple or Android phones. Yeah. So I didn't have Pokemon Go on my own phone. So I used to play it with my mum's. Yeah,
but it was like you'd have to just wander around the street and
catch Pokemon.
I
mean, it's in. Have you ever played a Pokemon game?
Not really, no.
You wander around a virtual world and catch Pokemon. So in reality, it's just a slightly healthier version of that.
So you'd walk along and you'd look on your phone and you'd look ahead of you. They weren't actually there, were they?
Well, they were.
I did actually see Pikachu down the brook one particular time, but I don't think that was anything to do with it, no.
You just saw...
I saw Pikachu walking down the
someone
brook.
dressed as Pikachu?
Yeah.
No. I saw one of them in London.
I think I've got a picture of it.
You ever watch those Japanese parades where they've got like all those Pikachus dancing down the street?
No, I haven't.
I watched Detective Pikachu the other day.
As soon as I finish this, I will be going and looking at that. I
watched Detective Pikachu the other day.
I know you did. I know.
Yeah, not all that. No. But it was interesting, but not all that.
Who plays Pikachu in that?
Ryan Reynolds.
Which is probably the only reason I'd watch it.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so I was never into this Pokemon business.
Go.
Yeah. Yeah, but Pokemon Go is that particular time. That,
yeah.
You know,
it's a Pokemon
there
game,
seem to be all these things coming out anyway. I was interested to see Heelys came out in that decade as well. Now, they were weird sort of... Your sister had a pair of them, didn't she?
Did they come out in that decade?
Well, according to my research...
I'm sure I was in primary school.
Eh?
I could have sworn I was in primary school when they were out.
All right, okay.
And I started secondary school in 2009.
Coming again, yeah. Well, no, don't. You look it up. You do this to me all the time. But stuff like flossing as well. There were some dance moves as well that came in this particular time. So, like flossing and twerking and Gangnam Style. All that sort of... What would you call that he was doing in there?
Dancing.
Well, I know it was dancing tonight.
It was like, was that considered K-pop?
I think it was, yeah. Because now
I think
you
it was
think
the
of it,
start of really when K-pop came into Western
the
culture.
Mainstream, yeah.
Well, you say mainstream; it was always been mainstream in Korea.
Yeah, but not here. But this
it's Western culture.
Yeah, but like Britain is the hub for music. I would say it was the epicenter of everything that's good about music. But anyway, no. So there was
Heelys Sports Limited started in 2000.
All right.
You're on the wrong decade.
No, I wasn't. I don't know what you're talking about. Right.
2016 was Pokemon Go, by the way, because I remember it's the year all the celebrities died, but I remember being at Brownstock Music Festival.
Right. Okay. Right. Well, also, so I've talked
Summer
about
2016.
Yeah, I've talked about the flossing.
Yeah,
Right?
as in the dance move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People have been flossing for a long while. I wasn't talking about the actual oral hygiene. Then, as I said, twerking. Now, I thought twerking was something that happened in more recent times, but apparently that started in that.
I will point out, though, that decade, the 2010s, only finished like a couple of years ago.
That's very true, isn't it? So that's why it's quite
2019.
It's quite, and right, these are all the silly things that are happening there. Do you remember looking at? They used to come up with these things, and they'd have a dress, and they'd say, "What colour is it?"
Yeah,
and then you go.
There was also another one. Sorry, you do that.
No,
one.
go on.
There was another one that went. I can't remember what the other one was, but either said Laurel or whatever, and he used to go Laurel. What can you hear me saying? Can you hear me saying Laurel?
Oh no, I remember this. Yeah.
That, and they had the blue and black dress, or was it white and gold?
Well, yeah, and it was ridiculous because it's almost like you want to be slightly different or whatever, and you look at it and you say, well, that's a certain colour. I can't see that there was anything particularly.
No, that it's down to. I think it's down to a couple of different factors, but yes, you do see two different colours of how you can perceive them in two different ways. I once saw it in black and blue, and I once saw it in white and gold.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not just people trying to be. No. Oh, look at me! I see different colours to everybody else.
No. Genuinely, it was a thing.
Right.
It's the same with the speech thing. Genuinely, people would hear different things.
Well, I get that people.
It's like if someone reads you a postcode, and it's the same as a zip code if you're listening to America, and say someone says 3PY. Yeah. You heard? What did you hear me say?
3PY.
Yeah. If someone said 3PY, what do you hear?
You heard you go 3PY.
But it could be E, it could be P, it could be C, it could be T, it could be V.
No, it's definitely
G.
3PY. You just said it in a funny way.
I did say it in a funny way, yeah.
Right, okay. So, first iPad released.
Just the first iPad.
Yeah, the very first iPad was released, yeah?
Yep.
Now, I must admit, I'm a bit of a fan of the tablet. Oh, hang on, he's going to check that one out as well. I'll tell you what, perhaps you should do the research on these.
No, look, I just want people to know this is going to be...
Well, while you're on the internet then, look up hipster beards, Instagram. I'm pretty sure Will and Kate got married in that particular decade.
Fair enough. First generation, 2010, April.
Thank you very much.
That's what made me question it, because it was...
So early on in it.
Yeah.
No, but I like tablets.
You've got an iPad too, haven't you?
No, I've got... you're talking about an older one, yeah.
Yeah. No, you haven't got an iPad anymore because you've moved on from that.
Yes, I've moved on from that. Someone bought me one and now I use that. I must admit, I don't know a great deal about the technology, but I do like it. It's great. They're a great invention.
I'm sorry, but if there was anything you could ever have said that's a more old man-like...
Well, I am an old man. That's why I had it.
Yeah, you are.
Now, I've written this down, and I can't even remember what I read about it. Planking?
Yeah, planking. So planking was something where you would have to lay flat. It was like an internet craze where you'd lay flat on something. So like whether it be you'd lay flat on the floor, you'd lay flat on the table, you'd lay flat.
Lay flat. Is that me
on a bollard in the street, and you'd have to try and keep yourself completely flat, and people would take a photo.
Right. Oh, is this the one that people were doing really dangerous stuff?
Like speed bumps and stuff like that.
Really dangerous things as well. So they were lying in roads and that,
on
just
like
to be
wing of an airplane and stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean that would be ridiculous.
On top of Big Ben.
What, the bell?
Yep.
Yeah. Right. No, but people were doing it, and
Elizabeth Tower.
And I seem to remember it now that there was some people were doing some really stupid stuff like and planking it. So what was the point of it? It was just an
internet craze. It was just something that people could take photos of. I think the big thing with internet crazes, and I think within this decade, is where it really took off, the internet. I mean, the internet has already been around for quite a while, but late 2000s and 2010s were where things were like, you can do a lot on the internet, and there's a way of interacting with people and stuff like that.
Well,
so
I think it was
where the things like Facebook and stuff had come around.
Hadn't YouTube started to come into play?
I feel like YouTube. I'm not 100% sure on this, but I feel like YouTube was late 2000s. So yeah, YouTube
But it was starting to come in because there was obviously
Google
the Ice Bucket Challenge was one of the big things there for charity, and that obviously it only exploded like it did because it was able to be put on social media.
And people shared it on Facebook, and Instagram wasn't really a thing at the time. YouTube.
Well, Instagram was there.
Yeah, I don't think it was as big as it. No, it definitely wasn't as big as it is now.
I think it just started out really.
When I say things aren't a thing, I just mean they weren't in the mainstream.
No, they haven't developed on that. Other than that, I mean, one of the particular things that I looked up was that apparently the ancient Mayan calendar said the world was going to end on the 21st of December 2012.
I remember that. I remember fondly the world ending.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, well done there, May.
Yep.
Every day, in every way, the things people do, the things people say, just irritate me, please sedate me. These are the things that really get my goat.
People who vape and insist on telling everybody in a 5-mile radius about it.
Now, I mentioned in the 2000s episode about how technology really started to take over from there and the things that came about. Now, it's interestingly how, as I mentioned already, how technology really continued late 2000 into the next decade, the 2010s.
Yeah.
Where you had things like, now I'm going to mention one that didn't come about in 2010s, I don't believe, but became one of the mainstream things, and now is one of the biggest things, is Netflix culture.
Oh right, yeah.
So I would call it probably the biggest streaming service or most widely known. If someone says, "Oh, I want to watch something. Have you checked Netflix?" or something like that. Now, there's obviously a lot more nowadays. Disney Plus came out in the 2010s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
At the time, Netflix and Love Film, I believe it was, were both.
That's right. Yeah.
They both worked by at the beginning of the decade. They worked by like DVDs. You'd request a DVD.
Yeah, you'd send and
they'd send you a DVD,
them back.
And send it that, and that kind of eliminated Blockbuster, who actually got the offer to buy Netflix. Netflix offered for them to buy them at one point, but they refused it, and that was the worst business decision anyone's ever made. But anyway, carry on. I think I mentioned that before.
Blockbuster. Yeah.
And Netflix became mainstream, and now you've got loads of streaming services. Like me alone, I've probably got quite a handful of streaming services that I pay for. And it's just crazy how that's really took off, that Netflix culture.
It is.
People go on dates and they have, Netflix.
Yeah,
Don't always just stick to Netflix, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is, in a way, we're spoilt now because I, like, of an evening, if I'm sitting there, I just want to watch something or just have something on in the background, then you could spend the next half hour just because you've got so much stuff that you could put on. Yeah. That sometimes I don't even get round to actually watching anything because I spend so much time just searching for, I would quite like to watch that properly. Oh,
yeah,
good.
Exactly.
But there's just tons of stuff now. I must admit,
most
normally
evenings I watch either Netflix, Disney Plus, sometimes Prime Video or YouTube.
But it's the percentage of quality to it though as well, because I think sometimes there's a noise that keeps.
There is a noise.
Yeah, I can't quite work what it is. Is it fireworks coming?
No, it's not. Hang on.
It was fireworks.
Yeah, it was fireworks. They're outside. What confused me, to be perfectly honest, and I'll admit it, is I thought with the headphones on, I thought it was coming from next door, and my process was, I'm pretty sure they're not in tonight.
So what on earth
Mum's
is happening
been asked to
there?
feed their cat.
Yes.
Anyway.
No, what I was saying is that there's probably a lot of rubbish on these things, but there's also a lot of quality, and now they actually involved in making new programs as well, and now that's a more recent thing anyway, perhaps the tail end of the 10s and the start of this decade. But you get Netflix. What?
Well, my point being is it's been going on for quite some time.
Yeah.
But whereas they started off with being a bit rubbish, as time's gone on, they're big money. That's where a lot of even film, like you get big films are coming out by streaming service first now.
Yeah.
Rather than
without a
necessarily cinema.
doubt.
I mean, COVID was a big reason for that. However, it's not like every film has to come out in the cinema anymore, and it's not like every film either. It used to be either go to the cinema or straight to DVD, and now straight to DVD is streaming.
Streaming anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound quite so bad though, does it?
No.
No.
Can I mention another thing?
Go on
technology
then.
wise? Okay then. Well, in the 2010s, we had the next step in Nintendo. So they had the Wii.
Yeah.
They had the Nintendo DS. They kind of merged them together to make the Wii U, but it didn't quite work out because it was still like you had to have the console, and the tablet was couldn't be that far away from the Wii U. But then took it one step further, and we got the Nintendo Switch. Now, what a games console that is!
Well, it's quite good as far as it's portable as well, isn't it? So it's quite good on that score.
I think DS lacked a little bit. I really wanted to see DS because DS was a really great one for taking to places, but because of what it was,
too small.
Yeah, and you really angry. You sounded really angry.
I am absolutely fuming. It is far too small. I'm
because
I'm still not over it.
Nintendo have a lot of history in portable gaming consoles, really, don't they? Game Boy and.
Yeah, I suppose
the
so.
other ones.
I don't know what. Yeah, and all the others. That I don't really.
PlayStation.
To be honest, I have a problem sometimes working out.
These fireworks are really throwing me
They're going
off.
on for ages, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, I've just been notified they'll be stopping soon.
Oh, right.
No, there's so much of those ones, and sometimes I can't quite work out what is what. You know, what is Nintendo and what is...
I can tell the fireworks are really throwing you off, so I'm going to move on to the next one if that's okay.
Okay, all right, fine.
The Nintendo Switch is great. Next thing, really kind of the birth of VR.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, so VR, when it first came about, very expensive, very hard to get hold of. It's still quite expensive and difficult to get hold of. It's still not quite mainstream yet. However, it was... When it first started out, it was something of the future that we'd always hear about having one day, and it actually kind of came about, which was fantastic. And now you can go into... It used to be like you'd have to join a development program where you'd have an Oculus headset sent to you, for example, because they're one of the first real main ones. And it was a development kit that you could use to plug into a PC, but it was really all down to the PC to do things and stuff like that. It was a work in progress, and it was okay, but I think it used to have problems like having it on for too long and stuff like that. Towards the end of the decade, you start getting much better, and now, I mean, I bought my Oculus in 2020, but I believe it might have come out in the 2019, but if not, there was the generation before it, which was where it really started hitting. And where it is now, it's just incredible in the fact that you've messed around with my VR headset.
I have. I find it...
We've mentioned it again on the podcast before, I do know that.
It blows my mind slightly. I must admit, when I very first put it on and looked at it, it's all right. I'm gazing into the distance, Connor, but I'm imagining what it was like.
No, that's all right. I was looking at the big screen.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, okay. When I first... it was sort of, wow, this is just unreal. And I was a little bit concerned about how it would make me feel. Because I wear glasses and lenses most of the time. Obviously, there's that little sort of, whether it be blurred or... But it was perfect. It worked perfectly.
Yeah. Got Nan and Sue to try it the other day, didn't we?
We did. And the only thing is, certain ones, and if I play it for too long, I end up smashing the house up because I have no...
you don't seem to be able to... You see that it puts barriers in your way,
yes.
But you don't seem to remember about them. And
no,
you end up
I punching things, don't I? And
you do things really hard. I say you can go slowly, but you end up just going...
Yeah, no, I've got no control, no self-control at all.
Bit of an old man.
I am, and it literally is. You're facing a different direction, and it freaks me out a little bit, and it makes me feel a little bit seasick.
Yeah, the motion sickness is a big thing with them.
It is. I mean, it does blow my mind, and I've watched even the nature documentaries on there are just quite special as well.
Have you ever watched Ready Player One?
What, the film?
Yeah, or read the book?
I think I might have seen a bit of the film. Yeah,
I watched it once, but I think that's on Prime Video if you want to watch it.
Yeah, there's a new one out, I think so. Or
Yeah,
they're
Ready
doing-
Player 2.
Yeah, I know.
I think it's called Ready Player 2.
It is
isn't
called that, yeah.
Anyway, no, that's a really good film. But once it reaches that point, it'll be a big thing. But it is really cool. And if someone wants to experience a really good VR headset that actually is a good thing on its own, is the Oculus Quest 2. This is not sponsored. But if they would like to, no,
Yeah.
it is a really great headset because it's got no wires attached to it. It really gives you that freedom.
Yeah.
I
I think that's really clever. It is really clever, and obviously they are
You have to have
used.
a Facebook account though. That's the only problem.
All right, they are used for training and things like that for lots of different
Yeah.
occupations and lots of different bits and pieces.
Yeah,
anyway.
like
Airline
do you
pilots.
use it for training to be a postman?
Yeah,
Yeah, putting letters through a letterbox.
yeah,
And
being confronted by angry people. Yeah,
last two things I want to mention. One, something stupid, hoverboards. Do you remember them?
I remember they didn't actually work.
What, they weren't actually hoverboards like in Back to the Future?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But they're Segway type thing
Oh,
without the handle.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were a bit of a thing at the time. Now we've got e-scooters.
I never had a go on one of those. Someone brought
No.
one into work, but it did look like the sort of
I
thing
feel
that
like
I
I'd
would
just fall
probably
off.
really hurt myself on it.
Yeah, I probably would.
Being old.
Oh, I think I might have tried it once, but not for long, because I think I almost fell off. And the last, but not by no means least, Minecraft. What a phenomenon Minecraft
Now-
is. And it's still going, and it still has updates, but I think it was one of those games that got introduced, and it changed up how gaming culture worked a bit for a while. It became huge. It really shot up. That made gaming on YouTube incredibly popular. It brought lots of people into the public eye, and I think it changed it was one of these things that I'm really bigging it up. But it changed how we look at things like YouTube and celebrity culture and stuff like that. Where someone playing, it's actually created jobs for many people, like people on Twitch and YouTube who now play games that really came about because gaming on YouTube took off because of things like Minecraft. And there's a lot of YouTubers that took
The thing
off. That.
about Minecraft always
It was quite
strikes me
educational way,
is
in a way.
when we just talked about VR sets and some of the games that you play on the various different formats and that. The graphics are incredible and all the rest of it. The thing about Minecraft, and I think it's probably why people like it, is it's really basic and
Yeah, it
really
is.
blocky and really weird.
Yeah, that's the style of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
However, if you consider the fact that it's blocky, yeah, which makes you think, oh, it's like a 16-bit game or whatever.
Oh, I imagine
And-
it's very,
but
very
You
technically
then look
involved.
at one block from an angle and you can tell that it's actually kind of an HD game. It's just that it's got the style.
But it's always. I mean, I ain't got no strong feelings about it at all. But it's always made me think, oh, why are people so? Is it because it's not like anything else? It kind of harks back to a different time, like a older sort of. Oh, when a different time makes it sound like ages ago, but when computer games first came on,
It makes things like you can create something in it, but because it's with these blocks, you can create things either simple or really complex. But yeah, it was just a game that came out within that decade, which has really taken off, and I think did change quite a lot of things. But that is the end of what I had to say.
Okay.
Now you can talk now,
all right. Okay. Well, to be honest, on the
because I was talking much longer than I intended.
Was you?
Yes.
So I haven't got long at all.
No.
Oh, great. So technical side of things, you talk about like Minecraft, you talk about that, but you've missed out one of probably the most important inventions of the 10s, as we call them, which is the Cronuts.
What?
Cronuts.
What?
Have you ever heard of Cronut?
I feel like it's a mixture between a donut and a croissant.
It is a croissant and donut hybrid. Right, and apparently was brought out in the 2010s to mixed reviews. But have you ever tried one?
No.
No?
No. Have you?
No, I haven't tried one, but I like croissants and I like donuts, so I don't know why I wouldn't like a cronut. But I don't know. I tried to look up
Do you
whether...
eat croissants?
I do,
And why do you keep calling them croissant?
because that's what they're called.
No.
Croissants.
Croissant.
Croissants.
Croissant.
Croissants.
Croissant.
Why are you making it
Because it's
weird?
French.
Yeah, I
Why
know
are you
it's
saying
French. You don't-
It's a croissant, isn't it?
I didn't
It's
say.
a croissant.
Did I say croissant?
You're near enough.
Croissants,
You're
I'll
near
call
enough
them.
saying croissant.
Ah, shut your face.
Shut your face.
Well, I just thought has there been other hybrids of foods?
I heard of donut holes, but I don't know that they came out in the 2010s.
And what was that then?
You know how donuts are rings.
Yeah.
It was considered to be the middle of the donut.
So there was nothing.
Small bite-sized donuts, but in reality, they make ring donuts. They don't cut out a bit in the middle most of the time.
All right.
Well, they can do, I guess. But
Well, I thought, what about
I
if
don't
you
actually know.
put
just make another donut.
bolognese and leeks together?
Right.
To
Is this
form
your own one now?
Yeah, to form a
So
new
this is
food.
coming out in 2020s.
Yeah.
Right.
You could call
Same as
them
COVID.
bolleeks.
No.
No?
No.
No, not a goer. Okay, what about pistachios and pawpaw fruit?
I'm trying to think of what rude word you're going to try and come up with this. What are you going to say?
Well, you could call them pissed paw,
Right.
right? Or, and this is my last one. I'm not sure. This is a bit out there because it's something you eat and then something you play with. So something like the mushrooms, right?
Shiitake mushrooms.
Shiitake mushrooms, and
God.
have you ever played with?
If you mispronounce it, it's just swearing.
Have you ever played with sticker bricks?
Yeah.
So if you put
Are
them
they called
together,
stickle bricks, though? No. I'm not going to let you say it.
no,
No.
okay, all right, then. What about fidget spinners?
You can't eat them.
No, just about fidget spinners.
Thanks
What are they
for-
for that all about then?
You know what? They're great for things like ADHD.
Right. Okay.
Like,
Well,
doing things
I
with your
wasn't
fingers.
expecting that to go. Okay. But you
But
know,
I did get a bit of a
plenty
craze.
of
It was a bit
people
silly,
had
wasn't
them, and you had all different ones. And you literally just span them on the top of your finger.
You spin them. You can spin them within your finger like that. But you had to have big fingers.
Yeah.
And then I'm making a C shape with my fingers. I've realised there's a podcast and no one can see my hands.
Yeah, you might struggle with that. Yeah.
And then also you could spin them on top of your finger or you could spin them on a table. They spun. But in fairness, for people with things like ADHD where they struggle with fidgeting and stuff like that, there used to be these fidget toys that you can kind of get that help people.
I didn't
And yeah,
realise that.
be quite helpful in that scenario. I struggled with the word scenario then, so I just went all out and saying it wrong.
Right, okay then. Right, the only other thing that I think was worth mentioning, I mean, obviously in this country we've had people change over and all the rest of it. But in America, Barack Obama got re-elected for a second term, but then obviously in America they can only have 2 terms.
Yes.
And then something happened. Something that I don't think the world was expecting. Something certainly until the last days I thought was still going to be almost a joke and not happen. And then he got elected. And I'm talking obviously about Donald Trump, or I should call him, because I think you still call the ex-presidents President Donald Trump.
I'm not going to say you need to say that.
No, okay, then
not our
just
president.
Donald Trump then.
When I say he's not our president, that's not me making a political stance. That's me saying I'm from the UK. He's quite literally not my president.
Now, from a British point of view, and I do not speak
let's be
for the
honest, we
whole
are
of
a little bit
Britain.
left wing as well, aren't we?
Possibly, yeah. Or leaning to that side of things
Yeah.
rather than conservative. But from a British perspective, there are many people. I only speak on behalf of myself here. I can only do that. But you know, there's quite a lot of British people that admired Trump for what he stood for. Now, I was not one of those, and I was quite shocked when he became president. Not as shocked as what happened after that, and I just indulged me somewhat when I read through some of these comments the guy made. Have I got time to do that?
You've got a little bit of time.
Okay. So let's just put one out the hat then. Put one out the hat? Put one out the hat. Let's pick one out the hat instead. Trump on the Queen. There are those that say they have never seen the Queen have a better time, a more animated time. That's for when the Queen met him. But then he goes on to talk about Nigel Farage. One of the most powerful men in Europe. He's a very non-controversial person. Very shy. Think that might not be true. He said about COVID, we have it totally under control. It's one person coming in from China. It's going to be fine. And that worked out well, didn't it? Trump on racism. I'm the least racist person you have ever interviewed, he told someone who was interviewing him clearly. Taking inspiration from others. Kim Jong-un speaks and his people sit up and at attention. I want people to do the same for me. I think we know why the people in North Korea sit up and listen to Kim Jong-un, because if they don't, they probably disappear anyway. Trump on intelligence. Nobody has better respect for intelligence than Donald Trump. He did like to speak, or he does like to speak to himself
in the third
person.
Intelligence.
Trump on breastfeeding mothers. You're disgusting. Trump on history. In life, you have to rely on the past, and that's called history.
That's true.
Trump on Kim Jong-un again. Why would Kim Jong-un insult me by calling me old when I would never call him short and fat? See, it's funny if it was coming from just a bloke down the pub, wouldn't it? But have
you broken?
What's no, up? I haven't broken. I was just looking through sort of...
Kafifi.
Yeah, just trying to, what else have we got? Trump on his intelligence. I'm intelligent. Some people would say I'm very, very, very intelligent. Trump on his body, right? And I'll tail off here now. My fingers are long and beautiful, as it has been well documented. As it has been well documented, various other parts of my body are as well.
Wow, that's because everyone's said about his small hands.
It is. I don't know. No, I just.
You want to throw that in?
It goes on and on and on. Certain guys tell me that they want women of substance, not beautiful models. It just means that they can't get beautiful models. It's just mind-blowing from my point of view. And one for you, because you like this, just try watching Modern Family, written by a moron. Really boring, right as the mind of a very dumb and backward child. Sorry, Danny, which you produce. Well,
I believe I remember that one because I think that guy said something about him.
Yeah.
So he then said, I've watched Modern Family.
There you go.
All right.
I could go on forever on them.
But we haven't got time.
No, we haven't because of you.
Have we got a song as this decade is happening?
We have got a song. So I've written a song about, and you probably guessed straight away who it's about. So just enjoy.
I can't believe that Trump was president. The things he does and the awful things he says. He claims he is the best at everything, the smartest and the coolest, most handsome and the tallest. I can't believe that Trump was president.
He's got a trophy wife, he's living his best life. He's burnt sienna on the Dulac scale. He's got tiny hands, the smallest in the land. His pomposity's clearly off the scale.
I can't believe that Trump was president, especially with that monstrosity on his head. He likes to make heads all big and tough. He likes to grab his women by the muff. I can't believe that Trump was president.
trophy wife. He's living his best life. He's burnt sienna on a Dulac scale. He's got tiny hands, the smallest in the land. His pomposity's clearly off the scale.
This is not a good song. When they came to me and said they're gonna be making a song, I thought, no, it's not gonna be any good. I'd make a much better song.
Game time.
Woohoo!
So you're a big fan, yeah?
Oh yeah,
And
great.
you even got Donald Trump to come in at the end. And
Yeah, I did, yeah.
anyway, a game?
A game.
Yes, please.
Okay then.
Yes?
Are you going to play a sting?
Well, you haven't said. But normally we introduced the game and then played a sting.
Okay. Have we had the game type sting?
Yeah, we've already had that.
Oh, have we?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Do you not remember when I played that?
No, I don't. Right. Okay. So this quiz is all about the 2010's. Right. So it's 10 questions. I'm going to see how much you remember about the 2010's. Play the sting.
Okay, I actually played. No, I'm playing the sting that is for this particular game now. Yeah.
If you could, please.
Yes, I'll play that.
Sorry about the confusion.
Round about now.
Thanks.
How good is your knowledge? What, how, where and when? Behold this whiz quiz for the 2010s.
Wow, what an amazing sting!
Thanks.
Do you hear me just play it?
No, and you're lying again because it's terrible. They're getting worse. I'm going to have to
Right.
invest some time in these now. On these.
The song was
even.
good.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's like one of my favourite songs is the vampire one. But anyway, that's
Oh,
not
that this
related.
afternoon. Okay.
What, the vampire one or the
No,
Donald Trump
the
one?
Donald Trump one.
Right.
Okay, let's go straight into this then. I'm not going to mess about. Most of these are multiple choice, as
That's
is
not
my
like
want.
what we normally do.
But the first question I want to ask you is, which actors played the part of Doctor Who during the 2010s?
Okay. Oh, this isn't multiple choice.
This one isn't multiple choice.
2010. So Doctor Who came about again in, I want to say, about 2000 and mid 2000s to mid to late 2000s. So about 2005 ish. So David Tennant, Matt Smith, Pete Capaldi, and so it's Matt Smith. So that's 11. 12 is Pete Capaldi, and 13 is Jodie Whittaker, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jodie Whittaker as well.
So you're saying
Matt
Smith, Peter Capaldi, Jodie Whittaker.
Yeah.
That is incorrect.
There's David
It's
Tennant on there as well.
Tennant.
I was trying to
Matt
work out whether
Smith.
David Tennant was just before the turn of the decade or just after.
No, well, he was definitely in there. Okay, question 2. Which dating app that encouraged people to
Tinder.
swipe right or left was launched in September? Couldn't read my own writing there. Launched in September 2012. Was it A, eHarmony, B, Grindr, or C, Tinder?
Tinder. Do you know what Grindr is?
No.
Right. I won't explain it on this podcast. I'll explain it off the
I
podcast.
bet you know. All
Yeah, I
right,
do.
Question 3. Which
Because most people know what it is.
I do know what it is. Which
Right.
book was named as the best-selling in the UK of the 2010s? So that doesn't make any
No.
sense. But, you know, what
Of the decade.
yeah. Was it A? These are all multiple choice now.
All right.
So please wait till I give you the options before you shout out the answers. Is it A, 50 Shades of Grey? Is it B, Gone Girl? Or is it C, 1001 Things to Do with a Pencil?
50 Shades of Grey.
Is it correct? So
Have you ever read that?
No,
No.
no.
Neither have I. I've read a segment from it though.
Have you?
Yeah.
Out loud?
Yeah.
Okay.
At school.
Did you?
Yeah.
Why?
Not in lesson.
Oh.
Just in like, I believe we were in sixth form at the time, so we just read it on lunch.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, it might have been a house party.
All right, okay.
I
Was there any particular
made
reason why?
a
you had to-
voice as I read it. No, because I'm great at... I think I should make audiobooks.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm really good at them.
Okay, great. All right, bear that in mind. Question 4. Why did Sudan cease to be the largest country in Africa in July 2011? Was it A, because a bit broke off? Was it B, a bigger country was discovered? Or was it C, South Sudan became independent?
South Sudan became independent.
That is correct.
You don't just discover another country.
Could do. It's not
But it
that
could break off,
far-fetched.
though, kind of.
Well, it's landlocked, isn't it?
Is it?
I don't know.
Then, yeah, that would be a bit difficult, wouldn't it?
Question 5. These are normal questions. I thought these were quite normal. Sometimes they've not been.
Oh, no, because yesterday I said to you, normally I know which one it's not because it's not the silly one.
Yeah,
And you've not put silly ones in.
some of them. Which Disney movie released in this decade became the highest grossing animated movie of all time?
I know.
Was it A, Alice in Wonderland, real? Was it B, The Lion King? Or was it C, Aladdin? Why did I say it like that?
I don't know, but both Aladdin and Lion King...
Aladdin, not Aladdin.
Both Aladdin and Lion King came out in the century before. So it's got to be...
No,
Yeah.
no,
Are they all the live action ones?
no. The original.
Well, then none of them... the other two didn't come out in the 2010s. Only... whatchamacallit did.
Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland did.
Okay, question 6.
Hang on. What was your answer?
The Lion King.
That didn't come out in the 2010s.
Shut your face.
Do you want me to tell you what year it did come out? I'm pretty sure it's like 1997 or something like that. I'm going to have to double check now because I've said it.
Oh, God.
Lion. I've written Eye on King.
Question 6.
1994, sorry.
What was the name of the ex...
1994. Bit of a way off.
Question 6.
So I get that one right. Yeah?
Oh, shut your face. Question 6. What? You could do this, you know. I don't have to do this every week. I don't want to do this
Where
anymore.
did you get these questions from?
From various places.
You wrote them yourself?
Yeah.
So did you not check?
Yes, I did check. Of course I checked.
But not really well.
I obviously got
Did
it
you
wrong,
look-
didn't I?
Did you look at the 2000? Did you look at Lion King live action and the Aladdin live action? Because if you said that, then
Maybe it was that.
yeah, it probably was.
So you're saying Alice in Wonderland. You're
no,
wrong.
in which
It's
case I'm
Lion
changing
King.
changing my mind to Lion
Oh, I've
King.
always told you it was Lion King. Question
God.
6. What was the name of the ex-porn star that allegedly, in 2016, had an affair with the US President Donald Trump? Was it A, Stormy Daniels? Was it B, Misty Malone? Or was it C, Overcast Ethel? Which
oh,
one of
Dad,
them?
I just realised you didn't say at the beginning of the podcast that you had your booster jab, so you might
Oh,
be
I've
a bit
had a
off.
booster jab just before we did this, so God knows, yeah, this is probably what's happened.
So it's
I'm
Stormy
probably dreaming
Daniels.
this.
Stormy Daniels.
Is it Stormy Daniels?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And you sure it ain't Overcast Ethel?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, right, okay.
Because I don't think there's any porn star called Ethel.
Right, well, might be. Anyway,
There could be.
well done.
not aware that there is
Question
though.
7.
That sounds weird.
What was finally discovered in Switzerland in 2012 after first being proposed as existing in the 1960s?
Do you know your mum listens to this podcast occasionally, by the way?
Yes.
What you just brought up.
That's fine.
Right.
It's just a fact.
Okay.
She's going to be more upset about the Lion King business. Oh, wait. Did you hear that question?
No.
Oh, question 7. What was finally discovered in Switzerland in 2012 after first being proposed as existing in the 1960s? Was it A, the biggest cuckoo clock in the world? Was it B, the abominable snowman? Or was it C, the Higgs boson particle?
The Higgs boson particle. And that's called boson.
What did I say then?
Boson.
Boson. Boson particle. It's because you started talking about cheese on toast earlier on. Right, yes, that's correct. That is correct. I can't speak properly.
That
I
is
keep
correct.
saying the opposite to what Question 8. Oh, I have only got 9 questions. I didn't write a 10th. Oh, for God's sake.
You thought about writing a 10th, but you never actually wrote
I started writing it. And I've got A, and I haven't written anything, is there? I know the answer. I'll just ask you the question.
Ask the
then.
question, and I'll just...
Yeah, right.
It
What
won't
are
be
we on?
multiple
Question
choice.
8. Oh, these are right up your alley, these couple of questions coming up. The best-selling video game in 2010 was released by Activision for multiple platforms. But what was it called? Was it A, Call of Duty Black Ops? Was it B, Call the Midwife, Nuns Attack?
Right. That's a good one, though. Well done.
Yeah, I like that. Or was it C, COD, A Fish's Story?
Now, well, I was trying to think there, right, Call of Duty is an Activision game, and I was thinking, what other games he can come up with? Because will they be Activision, will they not be Activision? God, I didn't realise I had to put so little thought into it. It's Call of Duty Black Ops.
Well done.
You say right up my alley, I've never played that game.
Yeah, but it's video
It's a
games.
game.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Question 9.
It's one of the
This
things
is
you're
another one
slightly
about
interested
your
in.
interests. The best-selling video game of 2013 was A.
Oh, it was Grand Theft Auto 5.
What did I tell you earlier on?
That was the best-selling video game of the decade.
What did I tell you earlier on?
Don't interrupt.
The best-selling video game of 2013 was A. Was it Mario Kart, the seedy underbelly? B. Pikachu Pimps a Ride?
Right.
Or C. GTA 5?
Grand Theft Auto 5. GTA 5. Sorry.
Correct.
Sorry, that game's been out for a very long time. It's been out on 3 different games consoles.
Congratulations to them then for that.
Thanks.
And question
Well, I say
10.
it's been out on 3 different games
Your
consoles.
final
Hasn't come out the
question.
last one yet, but yeah.
In 2017, why did Theresa May and Donald Trump walk hand in hand?
Oh, I know this because Donald Trump is scared of slopes. But it was a bit unbalanced, so that was the claim that
Not many, Benny.
everyone said. But
Theresa
I
May
think
didn't say that.
No, Theresa May didn't say that, and everyone said it's because he's scared of slopes. But his answer was something completely different, which is something like, "Oh, they just love holding my hand because my hand's so big and long, and my fingers are really long, and I've got the greatest hands out of everyone because my hand's the greatest and better than everyone else's. Donald Trump's hands are the best." Something like that.
Well, Theresa May said that he held her hand because he thought she needed help down the ramp.
That's not true.
That's what Theresa
No,
May
that's
said.
what Theresa May said, but that's not true.
Yeah, but I
wouldn't
hadn't
trust
got
anyone
as far
that
as even
prances-
writing that.
I wouldn't-
Or writing 2 other things to
I
go
wouldn't
with
trust
it.
anyone that runs through fields of wheat because that's very rebellious. She should never have been our leader if she just dances through.
I miss the days
fields
of Theresa
wheat.
May
Yeah, that's true.
with this
Bojo.
Right, there you go then. You've done pretty good on there. I think I'm going to have to rethink these quizzes because I think as much as it amuses me to put stuff in there, it just makes it too easy for you. Don't you think?
Yeah, but it makes me look smart, doesn't it?
Oh, okay. All right. There you go then. That was a complete guide to the 2010s.
Was it
Complete
guide?
I don't mean anything else happened.
Nothing.
No.
Uh,
I didn't even go into meat dresses or Beyonce releasing an album.
so other things did happen.
Yeah. Or Beyonce releasing an album without telling anybody.
Interestingly,
well, she
you
did
brought
tell
up both
people.
Beyonce and Lady Gaga.
Yeah. Well, I was talking music
Yeah.
and things like that. But
Just because my manager is in a tribute act of Beyonce and Lady Gaga.
I didn't even think of that.
No, I told you
didn't
that the
think
other
of
day and you forgot about it. But
I
it's
forgot
obviously
about it
still in your
again.
subconscious.
Maybe. But yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess all that needs to be done now is wrap up.
Yes, I think we're getting to the end and we need to finish off this podcast. It's been a fun one, wouldn't you say?
Well, it's been a struggle.
Has it been a struggle?
It has been a struggle, and I don't know how much of it's to do with the Pfizer running through my veins at this present moment.
Other jabs are available.
No, not for me, they weren't. That was
No.
the only one that was available.
And you know what I think would have made it loads better
What?
is if we had like a message to read at the end of the podcast.
Okay.
But no one sent any messages this week. How rude of them.
No way. Well, they better rectify this because we've got the Christmas one coming up and we wanted to read things out on that particular one. Don't make me start making them up again.
Yeah, better start writing in,
Yes.
James.
James. Yeah, James. I'm talking to you, James.
Direct to you, James.
James. Write in. Tell us what you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you
Okay.
eventually get to this one.
When you get to this one, which will probably be past that anyway. But,
Yeah.
And maybe your friend will pass on the message.
Yeah. But anyway,
Okay.
it's been a lot of fun. But you can do that on our website, fatherandsundays.com.
You can.
You can also access all of our episodes there, and also links to other places you can listen to our episodes because they're available on lots of different platforms. And we've got the blog page, contact us page, like I mentioned, and also the store.
The store. And can I just reiterate how brilliant the hat is?
What?
I've been
The
wearing
woolly
the
hat.
hat. The woolly hat. I've been wearing the woolly hat along with the neck gaiter. I've had comments about it, but I cannot recommend it more. It is just tremendous.
What's your favourite hat?
It's a tremendous hat. It is a tremendous hat.
I've got the cap, and I quite like
And
the
the
hat
neck
cap as well.
gaiter is sublime.
You know what I've been using a lot of recently, which I really like? The mugs.
Oh, the mugs, yeah.
The mugs are
I thought
good.
it was an A, B or C then. I thought you were
No,
going to give
the
me
mugs. Well, it could be the mug with my face on it, the mug with your face on it, or the mug that doesn't have anyone's face on it.
Yeah.
Which mug is it? A, B, or C?
Your mug.
Yeah, my mug.
Your
face
mug
in.
on your mug. Yeah.
Yeah, my mug on my mug. That's my favourite mug. But anyway, they're great to get. And also, as I said...
Stocking fillers.
Yep. I didn't
We
say
don't
that.
sell
but
stockings, though. That's the only thing.
Should we?
No.
All right. What kind of stockings? Anyway, so that's
The
that. I
sort
got
of
confusing.
stockings that Overcast Ethel would wear.
Anyway, that's all I had to mention. You got all the different platforms you listen to us, but we've also got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If you could like and follow on those, you can also share.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. Anyway, that's all I
Okay.
got to say. Anything you want to add?
No, nothing at all. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. I'm going to say goodbye.
All right, go on then.
Bye.
All right, bye then. Bye.